This video will pick up my vendor tour at the Santos Fat Tire Festival. If you haven't already watched it, go back and watch part 1. There's some pretty good interviews with some of the reps there. Bike Flights is here. I just used Bike Flights for the first time a couple months ago when I sold a bike. Worked really well, actually. All right, so I'm here with Vince from Bike Flights. Vince, tell me a little bit about Bike Flights.
So Bike Flights is a door-to-door bicycle shipping service. Any reason you have to get a bike from one place to another, we make it convenient and affordable to ship it. So basically it's just a clean process. You go on our website, fill in your address, the address it needs to go to, select the type of box you're shipping in, and we email you a label and FedEx will come and pick it right up from your door.
All right, so pick up right from your house?
Pick up right from your house, or you can drop it off at any FedEx location.
Very nice. Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you.
Tons of Pro Gold cleaning and lube products. I've used this stuff a lot. I use Bike Shine, I use Blast Off, I use the citrus degreaser. It's good stuff, really good stuff. All right, let's check out the SRAM tent. All right, we got the SRAM EXO cassettes here. Yeah, that's a light cassette. Let's see it's got XX1. That's a super light cassette. Oh my gosh. So here's my Eagle GX. It's still pretty light. I mean, there's definitely a difference in the XX1, but for such a price difference.
How's it going, man?
Hey, good. How are you? This is Carlos from SRAM. So Carlos, give us a quick blurb on the Eagle stuff here.
Well, Eagle pretty much has a new platform with the 1x12. We just released our new GX Grupo, so it's pretty much like the entry level Grupo. Pretty much the actuation of the Grupo is exactly the same. Just the difference would be like you can see that cassette is pinned compared to the other two, that is the EXO and the XX1, which is like, it's actually one piece. The difference between the EXO and the XX1 is just the anodization. That golden color that you see in there, that's what makes the difference between those two. What makes it a little, the life of the cassette is a little longer, but still with the 1x you don't really get, you don't really abuse those sprockets as much as you would on a 2x setup. So far so good. It's been great. Like, the reason why we went to 12 speeds compared to like 11 speeds, it's just like on the 11 speed you go from like you have like a 1042, but at the end you have like a big jump between those. You go from the 36 to the 42. It's like a big jump in there. On the 12 speed we have a 1050. The spacing is a little shorter, and anytime you change gears, now it's actually the same distance, so you don't have to you don't have to compromise your ride when you really have to go on a climb and you have to go on that last bailout cog. You don't have that long pull, so it's actually a better actuation. That's the reason why we went to the 12 speeds. But so far so good. It's good setup.
So what would you say the main difference is between the GX and then the higher end XX1?
Nothing. Pins and bolts. The reason why it's more expensive is because on the higher end we use more titanium, we use more aluminum. It might be roughly around less than 100 grams weight difference, but the main difference is just the components that we use, the materials that we use. They're a little bit more durable. If you live in a place where there's a lot of corrosion and it's a really wet place, your components might suffer a little bit more. So that's basically the difference. On the GX, the actuation on the Grupo is exactly the same. You can combine all the components and everything will work with each other. So it's actually a pretty good Grupo. Okay. Yeah. All
right, I appreciate it. Have a good one. All right. So Yakima's here. I've got a couple Yakima racks. Let's see what they got over here. These are so cool. I've seen these in pictures, but I've never seen one up close. So this is kind of a tent that goes on your rack. So let's go look inside this thing.
They don't touch the frame. They go over the tire, and they come over the tire and they come down.
So yeah, you can just camp out on top of your car. You don't have to worry about things on the ground crawling onto you. That's pretty sweet.
This is, yeah, now the nice thing about this too is that there's a lot of adjustability on the block. So
That's awesome. I love that.
Handlebar and they're kind of hitting.
Wouldn't fit on top of my two-door Accord, but if I had a truck, I'd get one of those. Honey Stinger. My son just tried Honey Stinger gummies for the first time today. He's hooked already. He got real excited when he saw all the honey products. So it was the gummies. He said they were delicious. All right, we're going to check out Pivot bikes here. So I've had a Pivot Mach 5 years ago, and it was a great bike. Here's the Mach 6 aluminum. Got the Firebird carbon. So Pivot is probably on my short list of bikes that I would own for a trail bike. Super well made. They don't use a lot of proprietary components. So Fox, got almost everything I'm seeing has Eagle, SRAM Eagle, but all the Pivot bikes I'm looking at use Shimano, which is great too, because I like Shimano brakes a lot. This is a nice bike, Fox DPX2, which is what I'm seeing on a lot of trail bikes. That's what I got on my trail bike. Fox 36 fork. Yeah, Mach 6 is a sweet bike. So I got full carbon. Yeah, that's a carbon rear end. 155 mil of travel on the Mach 6. Let's check out this. This is a bike that I think is really cool. It's the Vault. So Pivot doesn't make a gravel and cyclocross bike differently. They just make the Vault, which does both, they say. So that's a pretty sweet bike. 2 chain rings, sweet. I like 2 chain rings on a gravel bike. So full carbon bike. That's a pretty sweet looking carbon gravel and cross bike. So here's the tent for the Mulberry Gap mountain bike getaway in the middle of some of my favorite trails in North Georgia. So I'm going to find out what this is all about. All right, so this is Andrew. He's representing the Mulberry Gap mountain bike getaway. So Andrew, tell me about the getaway up there.
Yeah, we're kind of like a bed and breakfast for mountain bikers. We do cabins, camping. We run shuttles, have hot tubs on site, craft beer. So you can come stay in a cabin. All your meals are provided. You don't have to touch your car till you leave. It's a pretty cool spot.
Very cool. All right. Thank you. That will conclude my vendor tour, the Santos Fat Tire Festival, with parts 1 and 2. I wish I had more time because there were some other people that I really wanted to talk to, but I just ran out of time. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.